energetics of money. We're talking about the 8 money lies. Number 2. Hello everybody, I'm Fractal Future and welcome to the Vanguard of Light, where we help energy sensitive people take it to the next level. And we're gonna be talking about a book I wrote. It's called 8 Money Lies. I wrote about 9-10 years ago, and I'm gonna be rewriting it, updating it with lots of new info. But we're gonna talk about lie number 2, and that one is, and it's kind of like, it's like all these lies back then. There's a lot of going on, like law of attraction and The Secret and stuff like that. But they're kind of a lot of lies that got passed around. And two, like one of them is that like everybody welcomes more money, and that one's not true, because money's got a lot of weird dynamics to it, right? And it's not really a thing, and it's more of like, and because if I was like to say, hey, and this is another video of like, if I gave you $1 million, right? You might be like, yeah, $1 million. But I said, you just can't ever spend it or do anything with it. But you can just have it there. What's the point of that? I mean, our government could come along and be like, hey, we're gonna give $10 million to everybody, you're just not allowed to spend it. And we'll hold it for you, but you'll have it. You know, that kind of puts in perspective of like, wait a second. Money, you know, just open it up of like, oh, wait a second, yeah. Maybe there's something to do with the spending of it. Maybe there's something to do with the creation of it. Because the creation of money happens to be very spiritual. So there's an attraction to that we're inherently attracted to that. But then there's all these like pitfalls and tweaks and kind of gotchas of where we don't welcome it, because there's a lot of been associated to it. And one little exercise we can play with, right? Imagine somebody comes up to you and just gives you 10 bucks. Okay, here you go. Here's $10, right? And see how that would feel. Of like, would you be like, that's kind of weird? Or, oh yeah, 10 bucks, I needed it, right? Just kind of notice where you're at. And then another one, another person comes by, it's like, here's $100. And notice the difference of like, is it easier to take the 100 or harder? Do you get more suspicious or less suspicious, right? And now think somebody comes on and it's like, here's $10,000. It's a big old stack of hundreds. Here's $10,000. Just take a moment to feel what that feels like, you know? Like, You know? You'd think if the $10 was like, yeah, that's cool. Because some people would be like, well, no, that's okay, it's cool, I don't need it. Don't need 10, thanks, right? But now if they're offered 100, they might be like, yeah, I don't need it, but man, I wouldn't mind having that 100 versus like 10,000. And notice, if you like the 10, is 10,000 1,000 times better? Or is it different? Like, notice how it's different, of like, all types of stuff show up, of like, heck yeah, I'm taking that 10K, woo! Or you might be like, whoa, getting 10,000, I'm not sure what string comes with that. What comes attached? You know, it's like, who's giving me that 10,000? You know, what's the implications of me taking that 10,000? Right? You know, because those are pretty unlikely. You're going to have somebody just show up and give you 10K. You know, so that might be a little odd. Now think $100,000. You know, someone's just going to give you $100,000. I say it's on the street, in a suitcase. Here's $100,000. And just take a moment to really feel that, of like, you know, oh, I'm not sure. Would you take it? Would you not take it? Because it's like, man, 100,000, I could do stuff with that. You might be thinking like, I could do a lot of good with that, you know, or I want that 100,000. But then it's kind of odd, like, well, where did it come from? Why am I giving it? Why am I going to have that, right? You know? And now, we'll blow it out to make it real thing. Now, it's $1 billion. You're going to get $1 billion. And that one, most likely, we'll see, but it could be different for everybody, would open it up to like, yeah, I could take the $1 billion. Because it's so astronomical, so crazy, And maybe it doesn't lighten for you, that you're like, well, it could be stolen, but then obviously everybody knows about the billion. Like, you know, it's like it'd be so kind of public and so clear that, like, you know, with the gut, like, you know, you can't hide $1 billion, you know, just give it. So it's like kind of like maybe I'll work through whatever I got to work through with $1 billion. I could, you know, I'll hire me some bodyguards, you know. But just notice that wasn't a linear progression. It wasn't like, well, 10 was okay, 100 was better, da-da-da-da-da-da. Unlikely that it was. There was like kind of this weird variation, which there shouldn't have been, right? And all types of different thoughts came in, you know, and that was, you know, just get a moment with that. Like, just realize, like, this money thing isn't so cut and dry, you know. There's a lot of dynamics going in. And then try this again, like tomorrow in a week, and see if you feel different. And notice that it would change, right? Money didn't change. Money has been the same. But a different week or whichever, it might have felt different. And then if you really want to step it up, try it with another person. 1 or 2 other people, and find out that their answers and their feelings are wildly different than yours about the same thing, right? And the ups and downs, and when they're like, oh yeah, I would, and oh no, I wouldn't, oh maybe, oh, and how if you further talk through it, how that could radically change for something that seems so static, but it really isn't. So that's the second money lie of, like, that everybody would want it, including yourself, that there's this kind of weird flow as to when you'd want it, when you wouldn't, what's the implication of it. Now, like I said, money is very spiritual. And I'll link you another video where I talk about that, of how it actually is a very spiritual, but then there could be all these, but then you have all these things of like, I don't want it, and you know, and it's safe, it's not safe, that comes into it. So, but I will lead you with something to help kind of smooth it out that will be in the next book, if there is still that, like, you know, I'm driving for money, right? And the feeling, a simple technique, which will bring up more stuff like this video does, is just to bless other people with it, right? Just to bless other people with money. Just say, okay, I want them to have X, Y, Z. See them having it. And notice, do you feel just excited and awesome? It's great for them, right? Or is there maybe like, hey, I'm not getting it, even though this is completely free for you, for blessing. Didn't cost you anything, except for maybe a little bit of time, but you didn't lose money. See if you can do it joyously. But then, can you do it joyously for someone you don't like? You know, because if money is a good thing and a spiritual thing, giving that to someone you don't like would be a benefit to them and to you, because it would raise them up. And you probably might not like them, or you'd like them more. You know, you'd not like them less, because they got raised up. But notice that that's hard too, of like, that's difficult. And that just shows the conflicts with money and the misunderstandings with it and all that kind of dynamic. There's a lot more going on. To just realize, like, wow, there's a lot more going on out in this non-physical world that I can't see or touch. Maybe let's get that dialed in. And one way, if you want to get the blessings dialed in, got a 10-day blessing course that opens you up to the non-physical world and really opens you up to, like, a lot of the stuff that you really, really want. You might think money is what it is, or that money would provide it, but this will start opening that up. So check out that course if you really want to dial in your blessings. Otherwise, stay here on the channel, because we're going to be talking about it. A lot of different things of, like, opening you up to the magic that's inside of you. And we'll get this money stuff sorted out. So, hopefully you liked the video. Click the like button if you do. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more. And until we talk again, have a blessed day or a blessed night.